The fourth word is the word humility. It's right there if you have an NIV. What are these believers to look like? What are they to be marked by? Well, they're to be marked by courtesy, and they're to be marked by community, and they're to be marked by loyalty, and they're to be marked by humility. And to show true humility towards all men. In other words, instead of Christianity making a person proud, it ought to make a person grateful. Christianity is supposed to be marked by meekness. That's not weakness, that's strength under control. By a gentleness of demeanor that would have an impact on a place like Crete, and would also have an impact on a place like Cleveland. Paul is not suggesting here the absence of moral outrage, but he is making sure that the temptations and proclivities on the part of people who came from this environment, this agitational environment, need to be tempered by the truth of God's Word. And any attempt at being proud, any attempt at selfishness should be countermanded by the call to humility. Some of you watch Prime Minister's Question Time. I know that's about 3 of you. But Prime Minister's Question Time is aired at some ungodly hour in the morning on a Wednesday, and then also on a Sunday evening at 9 o'clock on C-SPAN. And if you ever watch that, you will know that there's a person there who's called the speaker. And the speaker doesn't really do very much speaking at all. He's just responsible for deciding who asks the questions. And every so often he says, "Order, order." And then everyone bays like horses, and it's really fascinating and a lot more fun than the average Congress that I've seen on MSNBC, I must say. Apparently nobody's there at all most of the time. So at least in the House of Commons, there's somebody there to make a noise. And my favorite speaker in my lifetime was a man called Bernard Weatherall. Bernard Weatherall was a Yorkshireman. He seemed to me to be a very nice man. I never met him. But I was not surprised when, upon his retirement, he gave an interview to the BBC. And in the course of the interview, they went around the speaker's essentially palace or palatial home, so that if someone visits from another country, if they're not taken into a royal residence, they will often be greeted by the speaker, may have residence in their home, and so on. And it is really a quite remarkable place and full of history and amazing paintings and gilded walls and all kinds of stuff. And as the man was showing us all around on TV, the interviewer said, "Well, you know, this is a pretty lofty position to find yourself in. How have you navigated your way through these high corridors and echelons of influence and of significance, and you apparently have come out of it largely unscathed." And he did. He was a man of integrity and kindness. And I was so desperate to hear his answer. And he put his hand in his jacket pocket, and he brought out a thimble. And it was a silver thimble. And his father had been a tailor. And when his father died, his mother gave Bernhard his father's favorite thimble. And when he became a member of the House of Commons, and then when he became the Speaker of the House, she said to him, "Bernhard, keep that thimble in your pocket. And remember where you came from. And remember who you are. And treat everybody with kindness and grace and respect and humility." Is it outlandish for me to suggest that the evangelical community might, at this very moment in American history and culture, do well to put a few thimbles in our pockets? And there is, loved ones, no escape from this, because you will notice the jarring, challenging final phrase of verse 2. Towards all people. Towards all people.